Hello and welcome to Eyewitness Report. I am Yomi Otaigbe. The unfortunate incident of a collapsed building in Ebute Metta area of Lagos State on the first day of the month of May is on the front burner of this week's edition of the program. There's also an update on the call for the reconstruction of the Igbogbo Baiyeku Road in Ikorodu, Lagos State. Stay tuned for details of this and more. It was a sad start to the month of May for residents of Ibadan Street and its environs in the Ebute Metta area of Lagos State, as 10 people lost their lives when a 3-story building collapsed. This report goes beyond the eyewitness perspective to examine the remote and immediate cause of the incident, the response from emergency management agencies and other stakeholders.
The excavator puts its bucket to work, digging through the wreckage of the collapsed 3-story building on Ibadan Street, Ebute Metta. The diesel-powered construction machine is deployed by emergency agencies to clear the debris of concrete, bricks and iron in a bid to rescue those trapped underneath. First responders, including law enforcement officers, firefighters and paramedics, are all on standby to give immediate assistance. Awestruck, anxious residents watch from far as search and rescue operations ensue. Every equipment is needed to put to use to get the job done. The Lagos State Coordinator of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, says the rescue mission started as soon as they got the distress call at about 9:30 p.m. on Sunday, May the 1st. He gives the initial report on the rescue efforts and mode of operation.
Before we got here, the community had mobilized resources to respond. And when we got there, we shared information, and at the end, close to 23 were known to us. When the DPO came with the medical hospital, he confirmed that it wasn't 23 but 24. He now made analysis that 5 were still on admission, while 19 had been discharged from the hospital. But we had information, 8 were recovered dead. Out of these 8, 3 of them are female, while 5 are men.
The Permanent Secretary of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, explains some of the challenges encountered by first responders in the course of the rescue operation.
There are 3 major challenges that occurred here. 1, false information. People giving different data on social media where they are not there. I need to appeal to good people of Lagos State that whenever they need information or data, they should link up with the Honorable Commissioner of Information, Honorable Commissioner of Special Duties, and my humble self. Secondly, is crowd control. The crowd control is, we have to beef up our security. We have to call on the task force and the IRS before we could control the crowd. And what is highly unacceptable is the area boys throwing stones, area boys trying to rob at the scene of disaster. But however, we as emergency managers of Lagos State, we were able to summon up our energy to be on top of the challenges.
Eyewitnesses say the residents knew the building was distressed, but the occupants refused to honor a quit notice from the owners even months before.
You know, there are rules and regulations guiding building maintenance. At least, maximally every 50 years, buildings must be renovated. But unfortunately, I don't think same thing happens. And instead of maintaining it, they still patching here and there, patching. Like what happened there, the building was marked based on information, and the son to the landlord was living with them, was living in the structure, but he had to pack out with his family, giving notice to them that they should pack out, but they refused to move out. So it's not that most of them doesn't know most of the buildings are distressed.
Items seen within and around the debris indicate that the fallen structure had both residential and commercial apartments. Occupants resort to break-ins between the clearing exercise to retrieve their wares and belongings. While the excavation of the debris continues, about 200 meters away, another three-story building is showing structural defect and already marked as distressed is still occupied.
Start telling them to move out immediately.
We're informed off camera there are also several distressed buildings with people living in them in the area.
The buildings here have been a very, if not more than Nigeria, as old as Nigerian at least. Disaster risk reduction strategy is a bottom-up process. So information must come from people at the grassroots before the people at the top. So there is a flow, there should be a flow of information so that all the distressed buildings need to be identified and proper channel will be followed before action is taken.
Rescue and search operations were concluded 24 hours from when the incident occurred. At the time of this report, NEMA confirms dead casualties to be 5 adult male, a 4-year-old boy, and 4 adult females. The latest building collapse is the second in Lagos in the last 2 months. In February this year, a 3-story building collapsed in the Yaba area of Lagos State, where at least 4 people were confirmed dead. Lagos remains the epicenter of building collapse in Nigeria in recent years. Some of the unfortunate and devastating incidents include the collapse of the 21-story building under construction on Gerard Road, Ikoyi, on November 2, 2021, in which at least 36 people died. On March 8, 2016, a 5-story building under construction in Lekki collapsed, killing at least 34 people. On September 12, 2014, a guest house of the Synagogue Church in Lagos collapsed, killing at least 115 people, including 84 foreigners. Experts say the rising cases of building falls could be directly linked to the use of substandard material by some property owners and developers. More often, regulatory agencies have been called in to put in more effort to ensure the industry is properly regulated to avoid worse situations. Things may have returned to normal, or so it seems after the tragedy. The break from rescue operations gives room for waste pickers to rummage through the rubble for reusable or recyclable material, apparently making quick sales from them. When approached, residents initially refrained from making comments on the tragedy on camera, but in hushed tones, an anonymous eyewitness alleges in audio recordings obtained by Channels Television that the state government is complicit in the building collapse tragedy.
They can mark the buildings in exchange for money.
Then the house owners arrive on the scene, are only too willing to share what they know.
They gave me a letter, then said that the house is distressed. I said, then give them notice, let them go. I think they have been on them. 1, 2, 3. They have been on it, giving them notice, but they won't go. So it was just Monday morning. This Monday morning, I saw his phone call. Leke Dosumu. I said, what is Leke disturbing me for early in the morning? I said, just let me pick. Sister, ile yen ti wo. Mo ni ile wo.
That house was in a big crack here and there. We come in to do little repairs we can do, but when we see that it's beyond what we can do, then we have to call our own tenants, because we the family are responsible. It took us to give us second floor. So you lease the building to a developer? Yes. That's what I'm saying. 20 years. So for 20 years. So the developer gave the family second floor. That is where my sister told you that is making some little money from. We are taking that money for that second floor. So we are our own tenants there. We asked them that they should go. With the last year, which is the year 2021, we didn't take any money from them. The money we took from them, we return it back to them. Our own tenants too, we do ask them that they should leave this place. Despite we are not their direct landlord, that we are even ready to give them money. We are marked to give the people at flats to 200,000 to support them. The one in the room and parlor, 150,000 to support them. The one in the rooms, 100,000. The ones in the shops, 50,000. We have series of meetings with them. About 4 times we had a meeting with them. We do the meeting open place. In the open place, all the people in the area, nobody comes to our meeting to see what we are saying. This house is bad, people should go. They say, no, they can't go. Why do you expect them to get money to go and rent house? That is very costly. And that is very important than the money people are saying. Because if the casualty happen now, what are you going to say?
They back up their claims with video evidence of a meeting called to inform residents of the distress status and pictures showing the defective state of the building, with which the tenants were adequately warned.
Although it's our family house, if I enter that building at times, I will not spend more than 2 minutes. I will take to my heels that this building is not safe, for God's sake. I asked one day, how are you living in this house, sleeping with your 2 eyes closed? They say, with prayers, Nigerians, with prayers, that they pray before they sleep. I say, you are praying in this condition, you better leave these people before it's too late.
Some other residents say the occupants of the collapsed building were forewarned in many other ways.
Even churches have been giving them message. Even a mad woman came at that afternoon that this house doesn't have glory. This house doesn't have glory. They pursue that woman. It is a message.
Further down Ibadan Street is a building on number 32 shown in the new viral video on social media, which a bulldozer was set to demolish but may have been spared because some occupants were seen in the balcony area.
The building that collapsed, they give them enough notice. In fact, people from Alausa, they came there for more than 8 times, and they were chased away because they didn't leave. And at the same time, they were giving that building there, at that junction, they gave them enough notice. They were giving the notices the same time, and look at them, they have not left. But look at what happened there. The caterpillar went there
at that same day, and it was around about to demolish that place. I didn't know, maybe they pleaded for time. They said they should demolish them along with the builder. Yes, the tenant. So that was probably that happened.
The building on number 32 Ibadan Street is still occupied by tenants, and the one right next to it on number 34 is also marked distressed, but seems deserted. There are at least 3 other buildings on Ibadan Street which also seem distressed, but have not yet been marked by the government. Most of the buildings here are high-rise and erected in dangerous proximity to each other, while residents continue to occupy number 34 Ibadan Street in apparent defiance of the alarm of its defective state, which also gained traction on social media. In view of this, one can only wonder how long more before another tragedy occurs.
Recently, we reported the complaints from residents of Igbogbo Baiyeku community about what they described as the delay by the Lagos state government to reconstruct their road. We return to that story with an update on the reaction from the state government that the project has not been abandoned.
An eyewitness video showing a section of Igbogbo Baiyeku Road covered by rainwater after a recent downpour. This video represents a taste of what residents and motorists experience during the rainy season. The situation doesn't make any difference even when the road appears to be dry. A discomforting situation for motorists as they lament while using the road.
Every year when there's rain, we suffer on this road. Please, we call on the Lagos state government, please. They should come and help us on this road to dualize this road. We are suffering. Our cars are spoiled every day. We suffer on the Igbogbo Baiyeku Road. Mainly this Baiyeku Road, please. The Lagos state government should act fast.
The bad condition of the road is having a toll on residents' livelihood. Finances are channeled to regular repairs of their vehicles. The ripple effects cut across prices of food and transportation.
I'm worried because this is the third car I buy from last year to this year. This is the third one. By rainy season now, we can't go through of this road. We are going to go through estates. And it was so bad. Governor was here last year. And they see this road that is very worst. We can, if it's 2 days or 3 days rain now, we can't go through of this place at all. It was so bad. This is very difficult. We don't enjoy this area at all. We are paying our tax. So what's the lessons of government that we have in Lagos Island, Lagos State?
If rain have not started now, the rain will can't pass. Road of where they are taking 100 naira, because of the bad road, we are paying 500 naira. Yes. This gutter, they stop at that junction there. It's landlord that take it to some certain stage there. The rest people, we could not finish it because there's no money. They pour granites at the junction there, or that Shelewu junction. Okay. The wrecks here to that place is done by the landlord, not government. We are begging government that they should help us so that this road will be motorable for people to pass. Last year, for many months, we are suffering. We are here. Vehicle cannot pass here. With the vehicle we drop out at junction there, from Igbogbo, we trek to our place here. Please, we are begging the government that they should help us.
The road is in a terrible shape, especially in areas such as Banjoko, Oreta Ofin, Agunfoye, Shelewu, and Macaulay.
This road has been like this for the past 4 years or more than that, and it wasn't like this before. I think this road is one of the best roads we have ever before now in Ikorodu. I can virtually tell you the truth. It's one of the best roads ever before there. Just because of the maintenance, we don't have drainage. That was why this road became bad road like this. But the issue is this. Apart from this place, we have the same problem at Macaulay. Very terrible, very bad. There's no way you can manage this road if we have an heavy rain. You can see it now. The rain has not even started. So like between now and the next 2 months, you will not even be able to manage, to pass through this road. So my concern is this. I want to plead. We are pleading. We just want to plead to the governor, our SLSC. He should just assist us to come and do this road.
Traders and business owners claim that sales have been affected as customers are relocating from the area in droves.
When it rains, it is difficult to find a vehicle that would convey us through the bad portion. The only choice is to place our luggage on the head and walk through the muddy water. We are pleading with the governor to fix the road.
NKECHI ADEYEMI, a school administrator, laments the effects of the road condition on the operation of her school.
We've operated here for this is the 3rd year. And when we came, it wasn't this bad. And as a school, before we could take off, we had to do 1 or 2 self-initiatives to put some things in place. As you can see, when we had trenches built here. These trenches weren't here as when we took off. So we actually created the access road into this place on our own. But then over the years, for close to 3-4 years now, it's become very deplorable, especially at the peak of rainy season. Once it rains, it becomes extremely flooded. You see vehicles submerged in water. As a school owner, personally, I feel pain because what I've invested here, I can't boast I've seen the returns. I've lost prospective parents. Some will come in, make inquiry, and they will say, oh, my husband eventually looked at it, topography, and was like, our children will not be able to go because we walk out of town. I was taking my account when we vacated last term, and I found out that within a space of 3 years, I've lost 4 school buses to this road. So the overhead is high, cost of maintenance, daily maintenance. You walk in the morning and by afternoon, that same school bus wouldn't run. So it's been terrible. There are assets here. They have a federal housing scheme, there's a state housing scheme. There's a terminal here that shuttles between Baiyeku to Aja. So there are assets that this road is limiting. The economy is down. Igbogbo can be boosted. So we are pleading on you. We are appealing to you, Our Excellency. Please, as a matter of urgency, save our soul in Igbogbo Baiyeku. There's so much we can offer if this road is done.
Besides the presence of several small businesses, 3 state government-owned and 1 federal government-owned residential estates are located along the Igbogbo Baiyeku road. In 2021, the Oba Adegorua and Prince Abiodun Ogunleye housing estate were commissioned by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, while the road was yet to be fixed. During the occasion and on several working visits to the area, Governor Sanwo-Olu promised to fix it.
I know that there's a lot of challenge on Bola Ahmed Igbogbo Road, and we're pushing the contractor. We made a promise, but we will come there because it goes to our housing estate, so we have not forgotten.
In an exclusive interview, the special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on Works claims that the state government has begun palliative works on the road.
Igbogbo Baiyeku is bad. It's bad, but you are in the rainy season, and people need to have palliative. As I speak, palliative works were done Monday, all the weekend, Monday and Tuesday. And I have pictures with Mrs. Arab. They carried out palliative works last 3 days on that road. So there is some form of stability there. You need to go through the due process and award that job if you want it to be done properly. Igbogbo Baiyeku is a long stretch. So you have a phase 1 of it and you have a phase 2. So in total, you have well over 8 kilometers of road there. So you are going to face it. But then the palliative work in phase 1, which is the real bad portion, is already been done in the last few days. Berigwe is one that we have decided to tackle because you cannot do all of them at the same time. So Berigbe, as I speak, has been awarded the contractor, so you've got to conclude your due process and then let the award process be concluded. But the contractor has already moved to site and is already starting some preliminary works, surveying and some works there.
For residents, the promise made by the governor appears to be taking too long and their patience is fading.
Throughout last year, we didn't see anything done on this road. Most people's vehicle has been damaged. The commercial vehicle that we're now managing, majority of them have been managed. The price is being hiked. Sometimes people are stranded. We see people carrying each other inside the water. This is just the first, second rain and the situation is this horrible. We are appealing, we are begging the state government to look into Igbogbo Baiyeku Road.
Trenches are built on one part of the road. However, the purpose is not clear.
So I think that within the tail end of last year, when they mobilized, we saw their tools, their gadgets, and their equipment from the state, I guess from the state government, and they made trenches. I remember one of these, I came down from my car and I asked one of them, I said, now that you've cut off the diversion to the school, what's going to happen? He just told me it's something on the interim. That was his, I will put him, just I don't know his name. So on the interim, we are coming in to build proper drainages and we seal up the road. Late last year. Okay. And then up till now, nothing has been done.
For now, residents of Igbogbo Baiyeku community can only hope that the state government will remember its promise and address this challenge.
That's the program for this week. Thank you so much for watching. See you again same time next week. I am Yomi Otaigbe.